Welcome back to another episode of Athlete POV. We're sitting down at Jackson West, tight end, Florida State football. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Trying to take it day by day.
Of course. So athletic minds, right? A big thing here: motivation, mindset. Really, an audience of athletes watching right now. High school kids, younger kids, college athletes. Big thing we always ask: what's the biggest thing that keeps you motivated?
Um, the biggest thing that keeps me motivated. There's a lot of things, but I'd probably have to say just trying to prove my self worth to not only the world, but just trying to prove my self worth to my coaches, my teammates. Just knowing that they can depend on me.
Mm.
So I'd have to say just knowing that other people can depend on my job is probably what keeps me most motivated.
How big a role do you think consistency of like a routine or ritual plays into like the certain amount of habits that you guys develop to like really, like you said, like so you can rely on each other. Like that consistency has to build up somehow. How big a role does that play into like your everyday life?
Yeah, consistency is huge. Without consistency, you're not going to get anywhere. That's one thing Coach Norvell preaches is consistency. So every day, like the same thing. It's just like beating the iron. Um, Consistency is one of those things that just makes you once you get into it. You sit down, you make a schedule, you follow that schedule, and you won't have unexpected things. And consistency leads to growing out your comfort zone and doing things that you didn't think were possible. So consistency plays a huge, um, honestly, a lot of life.
Of course. And now a big thing about consistency is like sort of routines that you've developed. And I think maybe most important could be some sort of morning routine, right? So go into now in the off season with Florida State the football program. What does like a typical morning look like for you, and like how does the day develop?
Yeah, a typical morning. So I have class at around 8. I'll get up at around 7, 6:30. Do the hygiene, eating, brush teeth, yada yada yada. I'll make breakfast, and then I'll do a quick stretching and breathing exercise, just to kind of relieve stress and just ailments from the body and start your day off good. Always like to start my day off with a positive mindset of I'm not just trying to get through the day, but I'm gonna conquer today and exceed what I can do today. So that's really a normal morning. Have class and go to workouts. So
There you go. And you mentioned breakfast, right? What's like some of the maybe not just breakfast here, but maybe some like overall healthy foods you always try to like maybe incorporate into your diet on a daily basis?
yeah, fruits are really big for me. I love eating fruits. They're great nutrients and they taste good. I've never ate a bad fruit that didn't taste good. And then you got your. I like to eat a source of protein during the morning. Maybe it's like grilled chicken or something, and then some carbs like rice or something like that, and then um, just kind of things along those lines.
Right, right. And speaking of fruit, I just had some watermelon this morning. My favorite personally, but you really can't go wrong with pineapple, strawberry, you know.
Right. It's just
especially back especially back by Florida State, you guys probably have like oranges, right? That's like the
oh
Florida
oh
that's what you
yeah
guys are known for down there. I'm from New Jersey, so I mean oranges come and go, but in Florida you can't probably beat that, right?
yeah. So watermelon's like the biggest fruit we have.
Yeah, does the nutritionist there like take care of you guys there in terms of like the cafe and your diet and stuff?
Oh yeah. We actually just got a new nutritionist, Jaden, and helping us out a lot. I talked to her about meal prepping and stuff. She
Mm.
gives us charts to follow and just really helps us out in that category and just trying to make us bigger, faster, stronger.
Of course. On top of like lifting weights and like, running, working out like that, nutrition has to be like right there, like a happy balance. Talk about how
Yeah,
important like overall nutrition is in terms of like just overall staying fit and active and stuff like that.
right. So for the longest, I never had a six pack, and like this is the example. If people ask me about diet, for the longest I never had a six pack, and I've always wanted to have a six pack. And like in high school, I sat down with somebody, and they were like somebody at a CrossFit gym, and he was like, "It doesn't matter how hard you work out. Like some parts of your body are made in the kitchen. So if you want to be cut, lean, and all that, like your diet is one of the biggest things for your body. So it doesn't matter how much you lift. If you don't have that diet, you're never going to see what you actually see. So diet is like, I'd say like it's 70% diet and then 40%, around 30% lift. So diet's
Right.
a
I wouldn't even say just like maybe be an athlete, like just in general, any normal person that's out there just living their life, right?
wonderful.
The food you put in your body is so important. I mean, if you stay with like, fast food, processed food, only bad things can come over time from that sort of stuff, like fruits, protein, grilled chicken, like you said earlier, also. Like, those are the stuff you got to put in your body, at least, on some consistent basis, right?
Right.
Yeah, and, all right, 180 here. Being Florida State football, right? ACC school, big time program, right? You play all the top, schools, Clemson every year, right? Stuff like that. How do you stay relaxed in big moments in big games?
Yeah. It's really like walking the dope with like 90,000 people doing the war chant is like one of the most intense experiences anybody can have. But honestly, it's the thing where you have to like trust in yourself and know that all of your training, you know, just let all of your training speak for itself, and try to have a good time out there. I have a problem with taking stuff too serious, so just going out there and just kind of reminding myself like this is a kid's game. Like I've been playing this game since I was 9 years old, so like you just kind of got to remind yourself like you're playing a game right now, even though it is a business. Like it's a game, so enjoy it, and it's not going to be there forever. So, and I have a lot of my teammates that help me out with that, and we'll crack jokes sideline and stuff. So that's one of the things. Trying to remind yourself that it's a game. Don't don't let the pressure get you wrapped up.
Of course. But how big of a role do you think that music plays maybe into like staying relaxed and focused maybe before the game, pre-game? Like what makes the pre-game playlist for you guys?
Oh yeah. For me, is I love music. So the pregame playlist would consist like early on. You got to get hyped. You got to get ready for battle. Anywhere from rap to dubstep to anything along those lines. And then once you kind of get closer to going out for warm ups and going out for the game, honestly, I like to play lo-fi. It gets me really mellow and just kind of focused in. But I like to say that music plays a big part in everybody's pregame. If you walk around in our locker room, I'd probably say like 60% of guys have headphones on, just locked in. So
Of course, yeah. I mean, anything to really get in that zone. I feel like before such an intense, sequence of events as playing a football game, you got to be some sort of like mellow-minded and not like thinking about too much stuff because that's what you do during the week, right? Prepare and stuff
right.
like that. How big do you think that like what's your not how big? What's your mentality when you're working out? Like let's talk back to the gym here. How big like what's the mentality going into like a lift? Like focus, like talk to me about that.
Yeah. So lifting, I'm fortunate enough to have a really good strength and conditioning staff. They make everything enjoyable. We are there to get in a hard lift and go super hard, but it's also a time to get away from football. So I feel like a lot of guys enjoy it a little more just because you're in there lifting weights with all your guys, and it's like one of those male things. Like it's just kind of, but you're there to get stronger, So it's really it's like I'd say like a party, You get hyped for each other. You just listen to music. You just go in there with the mindset of I'm going to get stronger today. Whatever I got to do it, and that's probably the mindset going.
Follow up to that, how often do you guys at Florida State maybe like max out on weights, and how hype does it get in that room when you guys are like, trying to get as the most weight you possibly can for one rep?
Right. I think we have specific max days. I think we do it twice in the summer, and then like once in the spring. But we have this thing called squat party. So like usually the workouts are split, but in squat party the whole team is like together. Um, so um, it's one of the things where like it's just like really feels like a brotherhood in the moment, just because like everybody's together. You're trying to achieve one common goal, just pushing that weight up, and so it's just like a really, really intense feeling. And I'd almost say like euphoric.
Is there ever like competitions with you guys? Like whoever does the most like has that one step, that bragging right?
Oh yeah, all the time. Even if it's not like set up, like me and my buddy Malachi, he works on the next rack to me, and we were doing curls, and he was just like, "This is our last set. Like, let's see who can go to failure." And we both just counted them out, looking at each other, and then he ended up winning. So I promised I'd buy him a little ice cream from the Circle K.
Oh man. You got any more like not actually not anymore. What do you think so far is maybe like a best memory from Florida State so far in your I think 2 years, yeah, sophomore.
There's a lot, but my best memory on the field, um, honestly, the first time I ran out of that tunnel, man, like that's something I'll cherish forever.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. So
I remember I'm a sophomore now in college. My freshman year I went to a school in Florida. I went to Stetson University, close by actually. Well, not that close, but like on by Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I visited Florida State for just to visit, and I like toured the stadium. It was just like whoa, like it was. You can tell like an atmosphere like that is like I think you mentioned euphoric before. Like you can probably like really get in the zone there.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Something else that we found was how you sort of had like no social media until college, right?
Yeah.
What's like a decision process behind that, and what was the decision? Yeah, what was the decision process?
So my mom was like the big thing behind that up until college. She didn't really like social media, and so I didn't disagree with her. And I see where she was coming from. Helped me stay out of a lot of trouble. But kind of when I got to college and they passed the NIL thing, I was just like, I think it'd be a good idea if I marketed myself, put my name out there, and just try to, invest in myself and let others invest in me.
Right.
And so that's that process went.
I like it. Yeah, it's like sort of like you think of yourself as a business now. Like you with the
Right.
NIL now, given you can now take advantage of opportunities that you maybe were not able to beforehand. So
Right.
definitely, I can see where you're coming from with that, and of course, probably avoided a lot of trouble just just keeping your name out of there. But another thing, did that maybe affect your recruiting process at all, or were you like set aside with that before really, like it wasn't really that big a deal?
Yeah. Wasn't, but it affected my recruiting a lot because I couldn't like get out to some schools like on the West Coast and stuff, and couldn't really go visit them or get in contact with them because I didn't have really easy way to do it. So a lot of my offers and interests came from camps. So instead of like tweeting out or messaging coach social media, I just go to every camp I could. So that's how I got most of what
That's
I,
like that's sort of like maybe like an old school way of doing it. Maybe go to
Yeah.
every camp possible, in person contacts. No, you either see me now or you can't see me later. That sort of thing. No, I like that. It's pretty cool. It's not really how a lot of people do it nowadays, right? Like everyone, you can send like your I don't know what you use Huddle in high school. That thing. You send your Huddle link to like 1,000 coaches around the country, but no, you got to see Jackson in person at a camp.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly.
cool. No, I can definitely respect that. Couple more things you got here. On the lighter side, you get to go to dinner with two people. Who are you going with? Where are you going? And what are you ordering?
Like all time.
All time,
Like
dead or alive, you get to choose.
all right. I'd have to say Kobe,
Okay.
and then I'd have to say. Mm, I'd say Elon Musk.
Okay. Why do you
And
think that
then
is?
um I would just like to pick Elon's brain a little bit, and get some information, advice on the business side of the world, and I'm kind of in a field that incorporates into what he's doing. I'm majoring in cybersecurity, so it would just be nice to kind of just talk to him a little bit, and then Kobe, of course. I would just love to, talk to him about his mentality and just everything. I mean, that guy's insane, or was insane.
Believe it or not, that's 3 times in a row someone said Kobe to this question.
Kobe, that dude is crazy. He's definitely an icon that's not gonna be forgotten for a long, long time. And then I'd probably go to I have no idea. There's so many restaurants. I'd probably go to probably like Chris or something. It's a nice steakhouse.
Okay. You think that fits into their diet?
I think so a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Last and finally, right? Aside from your family, and maybe aside from the two people you just said, who would you say is your biggest role model in terms of who you maybe like play your game after that you look up to?
Um, Honestly, I'd really have to say George Kittle. Um, I love the way George Kittle plays. He plays with no hesitation and no remorse. Like he goes out there and tries to, he's
Yeah.
got that killer mentality.
And I
And
feel
that's what
he does it all, right? Like he blocks and
yeah.
catches, like versatile.
And even if you go see him catch a ball after he catches the ball, like he is violent. Dude's trying to get upfield. He's trying to run over people. Like he's just trying to do whatever he has to do to get those extra yards and stuff. So I love the way George Kittle plays. I watch him all the time. He's probably my favorite tight end in the NFL right now. So
I mean, you can look at him and Kelsey and like look at really the way the tight end positions really have changed. you know, maybe not
yeah,
like Tony Gonzalez esque sort of maybe.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, the tight end position has evolved a lot. And even you see guys like Kyle Pitts, they're lining up on the outside,
Right.
slot. It's not just a hand of dirt anymore. So
Mm.
it's good for the position. But just putting those bigger bodies on those smaller corners. But yeah.
I remember Mike Gesicki, right, tight end. He plays
Hmm.
he plays outside a lot too. I remember seeing this like thing where it was like with his franchise tag, he could have like actually took like the receiver position and made like a couple more $1 million if he qualified
Yeah,
for like
I
receiver
saw
because
that.
he most of his snaps were like outside. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mm. Growing up being from Alabama, were you like an Alabama fan?
no, I was not. I was actually a Florida State fan since I was born.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it really is like a dream come true. So a lot of my family, or some of my family, are alumni and they played here. And then my other side of the family is like Alabama fans and stuff. But I already, my mom got me into the Florida State thing. I came to games here as a little kid, so like stepping on that field is like I,
No, that's
playing in
really
my
cool. That's really cool because I mean, I saw when my team and I doing research, we found you're like a top 25 prospect in Alabama. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to keep him into Alabama, but obviously not. Growing up Florida State fan, you probably were like, whoa, like this
yeah.
top of the line, super cool. I mean, me personally, I'm a University of Michigan fan personally for
Oh,
football. So like, I mean, being like a 5'9" linebacker in high school, not really Michigan, but
right.
that's definitely probably super cool for you. Probably like one of the biggest goals you probably have in your life, like accomplished, right? Um, Definitely super cool.
Yeah, it's it's definitely different. And like it kind of like the stars, all the stars aligning type of thing. Because when Tag was here, he was recruiting me. Norvell got here, and then my buddy, who actually plays for Ole Miss now, we grew up together though, and I went on a visit here with him. That's how I got noticed from them. And so because they weren't, Coach Norvell and them weren't recruiting me either until I came on that visit. And then they ended up liking me, and it was just
wow.
like, yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was nice how it lined up though.
So the Florida State coaching staff didn't know about you, so you took a visit with your friend.
Yeah.
So how did that work? He just like said, "Hey, can I bring my buddy?"
Yeah, he was just. I mean, they have like the family thing. Their family can come in like a buddy or two. And so his dad, me and his dad ended up going, and then that's how I went with him. Because we usually went on all our visits together because we played when we were younger,
right?
And we separated. But he was still a really close friend, and I talked to him a lot. Named Micah Pettis, he plays at Ole Miss. He plays, I think he plays tech there. But that's kind of how that worked. So.
Wow, it's like right place, right time, right, for where you wanted to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, so. That's really cool. I mean, that's all I really had here. You have anything else you want to add, or maybe shout out that we didn't mention?
No, man. I really appreciate you having me. Thank you for the opportunity. Letting get my voice out there a little bit.
Of course, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I feel like we got a lot out of it, and like who you're about, your values, what Jackson West is all about. I mean, definitely pretty cool. We wish you the best this next season. I mean, you started playing in a couple games last year, back in the lineup this year. We'll definitely keep an eye out, definitely keep in touch, and wish you overall the best, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job with the social media and everything. I'm trying to get the team to hop on. So.
Hey, I appreciate that so much. Thank you, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yeah, of course. Have a good day.
All right, you too.